Alright guys, as promised, an update on the Capri. As you can see, there's a lot being chopped out here. So when I started to remove things like these strengthening plates here, I found there was a heck of a lot of rot behind all of them. There was a heck of a lot of rot on these wing rails, and the headlight balls were completely gone. The front valance was totally gone as well. So it looks a lot, but there's actually not a whole lot of metal removed to make it look this bad. So my plan is to chop out all the bits that are bad. As you can see here, it's pretty bad. I'm going to leave these strut tops in situ so I know where they are, so I don't lose reference points as to where the struts go, and just start making back up all the panels. Luckily they're all kind of really straight. I've cut them out as straight as possible to assist, making new ones and putting new ones back in. I'm going to buy new wing rails, which are big 90-degree pieces of steel that are reproduced, which get the right curve back down to the end of the bonnet, to the end of the front of the car. The valance is off, it's in the shed at the minute. I'm going to have that sorted out and everything else. So yeah, it looks really scary, really scary. But luckily all the parts I can buy. One of the good parts I've had recently is this. These are the new headlight balls. I'll take one out so you can see. These have been handcrafted by a guy called Stead Speed, I think they're called, up in Scotland, and they're a really good reproduction headlight. So they've been made up for me, which is nice. My plan to keep everything in check is to bolt the bonnet on and use the bonnet for reference points to get the wing straight and everything else. So I've got my work cut out for me, definitely, on this part of the car. It's a shame it was so rotten, but you got to do it, I suppose. Got the chance now to do it. I want to get it right. So the shell is getting shot blasted. Soda blasted, which apparently is better on the panels and things. There's a guy near me. What we're going to do is we're going to get 4 lads, each take a corner of the Capri. It's pretty light now. There's basically nothing in it. You see the windscreen's out, the sunroof's out, the quarter glass is out. The tailgate will basically just be pulled off and removed as that screen's bonded in. So yeah, the shell's been picked up, put in the back of a trailer, trailered away to be soda blasted, which will take everything off, all the paint, all this really old and strong Z-bar, which is an absolute nightmare to remove. That'll all get blasted off. It'll also let the guys get deep into a lot of the rusty areas like around here and stuff, and then they're going to zinc primer it, which I've heard is a pretty good way of protecting the chassis prior to priming and painting it with your conventional 2-pack. So yeah, it's going to be fully zinc primed chassis. All the other bits like the strut legs and stuff, they're going to be shot blasted and powder coated, the anti-roll bars and stuff like that. So brilliant. Here's a bit of the nightmare. See, it's pretty badly gone. This started out as a little bubble here, so we got the windscreen out, and I started hammering, and it all went through. And it looks like some water's got behind the rubber here, and just sat in, or dripped down and just sat here, created a little hole, and it's just gone. Luckily, this inner part here is okay. Apart from there's a big hole there. This is part of the A pillar, so I just be careful when I put that back together again. A lot of these panels I've cut out. I've kept the panels. To make it easier to get the shape back, I just removed it so I could gain access. So they'll get welded back on again and ground back. See, there's some sheet metal there. I've gone with I think it's 0.5 mil. Let's have a look. Sorry, I've gone with 1 mil regular just steel. Should be fine. So yeah, that's that's the body. The sunroofs are a nightmare to remove, but I've done it. The sunroof never actually worked either, but I'm gonna try and get it working. You can see there's actually not any damage to the innards of the sunroof. Let's go under here. I'll show you that the headlining's also been taken out. So there's that. Still full of junk. I need to get rid of all this. The wiring that I made up has been removed now. That's all back out of the car, ready to be put somewhere. Okay, so what I'm doing to remove panels like this is when Ford built them, they spot welded all the parts on. Get the camera focus there. You can see there's a weld. So what I'm doing is I'm basically using a hammer and chisel to get behind the panels and bending them. Obviously that exposes the points in which they've been welded. And then I'm using a one of these drill bits, which looks like a snapped in half drill bit, but it's actually a spot weld drill bit. You can buy these online. Just search for spot weld drill bit or whatever, and you use a standard drill just to chop them out. Then once you found them all, the panel basically comes straight off in one go. You can see on this side too, there's lots of damage to the. This was all rust that basically I just punched through with a hammer. So all this is going to get cut off as well and rebuilt. And over here as well, there is a lot of the old damage. In fact, you can see into the car on this side due to it all. So, but luckily the rest of the scuttle panel looks pretty decent. Okay, and here's why I've been removing these panels. You can see behind them, water just getting trapped in there and causing it to rust real bad. I mean, probably any longer than this, and this would have probably have just totally gone through. So, yeah, I'm going to remove just a bit more of this bit here. Just needs rewelding again. Cut through a bit too far there. But yeah, hopefully the shot blaster, actually, the soda blaster, sorry, leaves something left of this thing.